Live 5 News starts now with breaking news.
And that breaking news out of Summerville, where crews have put out a house fire. You're taking a look at some of that serious damage from this fire early this morning.
We have team coverage. Logan Reichstad is live there.
But first, let's start with Rob Way in the First Alert Center. He's giving us a closer look at where this fire happened. Rob?
Aisha, Michael, those crews are on Kirksey Drive. That's off of Bacon Bridge Road, just a couple blocks down from Dorchester Road. Logan Reichstad has been there for about an hour. Logan, that house appears to have significant damage.
That it does, Rob. There's significant damage to this home here, as you mentioned, in the Summerville area. We got on scene about an hour or so ago, as you mentioned, and at that point there were firefighters putting smoke out. There was all sorts of smoke still billowing from that home. They had a ladder truck up. At this point now, here at the top of the hour, they have started to break down, and a couple trucks have since started to leave the scene. Let me step out of the frame here and give you a little bit of a better idea of what exactly we're seeing in terms of damage. We'll zoom in and show you what's left of this home here. There is significant damage to the front, to the roof. It looks like the entire home suffered significant damage. A number of agencies have been on the scene here, at least since we got here. Summerville Fire, Dorchester Fire, Dorchester County Sheriff, Dominion Energy is here as well. And again, like I said, some of those crews have since started to break down and leave. A few minutes ago, firefighters started to go into the building with flashlights. You might see a couple flashes in there. Looks like they're searching the building, must be trying to figure out the cause of this blaze. We don't know exactly what caused this fire. We have reached out to Summerville Fire to try to get you some more answers as to what took place here this morning. But for now, that's what we know. We'll, of course, keep you updated here on air and online with the most updated information as we learn it. For now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks so much, Logan. 6:01 now. Let's talk about your weather. Switch gears here as we get started and heading out the door here in our hump day. Live view outside. Beautiful shot here as we get some daylight. Weather looks great for today out ahead of this cold front that's going to bring some big changes. In fact, you may even see in the white here, there's some snow that is falling this morning in parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. That's an indicator of how cool the air is associated with that cold front. We're out ahead of it today, which means the temperatures are going to be on the warm side. We're in the 50s back inland, even upper 40s right now in King Street, close to 60 degrees along the coast. Winds will be out of the west today. The wind will pick up in advance of that cold front that's going to move through late this afternoon. Outside of the wind, you really won't notice until tomorrow morning that cold front will have moved through. With that northerly wind direction, you can see it there tomorrow morning. It's going to feel much, much different than this morning. Today, though, we're headed up to 78 at noon, low 80s this afternoon with lots of sunshine. But as we head into tonight, watch how those temperatures tumble. Some of you back inland could be in the upper 30s come tomorrow morning. We'll talk a lot more about that coming up. Let's talk traffic though now with Abby O'Brien. What's the latest, Abby?
Well, if you're heading out 26, this is a live look right near the 52 connector, and things look great. We're not seeing any big delays in that spot. You can see on our traffic flow map that for the most part we are quiet, which is great news for our morning drive. Did want to pop on over though to 526 over the Wando Bridge. We've had this lane closure because of some road work on the eastbound side. So that's as you are heading from Daniel Island over to Mount Pleasant. Not any significant delays, but if you are heading through that spot, just expect to see crews working.
The former Minneapolis police officer, now convicted of murder, is behind bars this morning.
It will be 8 weeks before we know how long Derek Chauvin will spend in prison for the death of George Floyd. Skylar Henry is in Minneapolis with reaction from the family and the community following yesterday's verdict.
Count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony. Find the defendant guilty.
Derek Chauvin showed no reaction as the judge read all 3 guilty verdicts.
Find the defendant guilty.
The jury convicted the former Minneapolis police officer of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. Chauvin was then led out of the courtroom in handcuffs.
Find the defendant guilty.
Floyd's family and attorneys celebrated the news.
It's been a long journey. Today, we are able to breathe again.
Prosecutor Jerry Blackwell.
Now, no verdict can bring George Perry Floyd back to us. But this verdict does give a message to his family that he was somebody, that his life mattered.
Thousands of people were here in downtown Minneapolis cheering when that guilty verdict was read. Some of the people that we spoke with say that now they hope a better conversation can come about how to better improve the relationship between law enforcement and the community.
This is the start, definitely. I just thank God for Minnesota for the truth.
President Biden spoke with the Floyd family.
I wish I were there, just put my arms around you.
And told the nation that change is on the way.
Through the family's pain, they're finding purpose. So George's legacy will not be just about his death, but about what we must do in his memory.
The judge is expected to sentence Chauvin in about 8 weeks. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Now, there are 3 other fired Minneapolis officers who will face trial in August on charges of aiding and abetting murder in Floyd's death.
The brother of an unarmed black man who died after a police shooting following a traffic stop here in the Lowcountry is praising the guilty verdict against Derek Chauvin. In 2017, a former North Charleston police officer pled guilty in federal court to violating Walter Scott's civil rights. Michael Slager is currently serving a 20-year sentence for the death of Scott. Just recently, Slager tried unsuccessfully to get his sentence shortened. Walter's brother, Anthony Scott, is calling the Chauvin verdict a victory, but not justice. He says he hopes officers seeing the prison time Chauvin faces will have impacts across police departments across the country.
When these officers start seeing this happening across America, then we will be able to see a change in America, which will be this stopping and ceasing. They will think twice about pulling that trigger on an unarmed man.
Now, just 20 minutes before the Derek Chauvin guilty verdict was announced, authorities in Ohio say a Columbus police officer shot and killed a 16-year-old girl. According to body cam footage from the first officer on scene, the officer approached a group of people in the driveway outside of a home. Now, the video shows that we want to show you right here. The teen, identified as Micaiah Bryant, quickly moved toward another girl with what appears to be a knife, and the girl falls to the ground. In the video, the officer yells, "Get down," before she appears to lunge at a second girl with the knife. The officer tells her to get down again and then fires 4 shots in the direction of the teen. Now, Bryant later died from her injuries. The officer will be taken off the street while an investigation gets underway.
You can get your first dose of the Moderna vaccine at a clinic today in downtown Charleston. Vetter Healthcare is hosting that clinic at the Arthur Christopher Community Center on Fishburne Street. Doors open at 9 this morning. No appointment is needed. You're asked to bring your ID and insurance card with you. Coming up, how you can weigh in on Dorchester District 2's budget plans as leaders look ahead to the next school year.